What's up, guys? So we're in beautiful Mexico City right now, in Centro, which is the downtown of Mexico City. You couldn't know, but we're headed towards Zócalo right now, which is where the Palacio Nacional is, which is essentially the Mexican White House, but also where the main cathedral is at, and a whole bunch of other important buildings for the country. But kind of just wanted to take you guys and show you guys around the different areas and what you can expect when you come down here. Now, when you're first doing research for Mexico City travel, you might hear that Centro may not be the safest area to stay in, but I've actually found that to be quite the opposite. I'm enjoying my time here in Mexico City Centro than in other parts of the city, more popular ones like Zona Rosa, Condesa, Roma Norte, which are usually the more popular touristy areas here in Mexico City. But I'm not sure. I came once when I was staying there for the first time, and I thought it was like super crowded and a lot going on. But that's part of the draw here, I think, that there's like Mexican nationals traveling from all over the country, and just foreigners in general. And there's a lot of police presence too, from early in the morning all the way till, I don't know, 3 in the morning. So 24-hour surveillance basically. And you just don't find that in places like Roma and Condesa, which, I mean, they do have police presence, but it's not as abundant. And there isn't always people on the streets, which makes me feel safe to an extent, as opposed to just traveling on an empty street. But it's pretty early in the morning still. Not a lot is open yet. And the weather has been very cloudy since I got here as well. Humid, rainy, and just overall not the best, but it's still a vibe. I'm staying at a pretty centrally located Airbnb as well, which I may show later once I clean it up, because it's pretty dirty right now. And if you guys can see there in the back, there is the main cathedral, which replaced the pyramid of, oh god, how do I pronounce that word? Tenochtitlan, which is what Mexico City was known as before the Spaniards came and, you know, did their thing. But a lot of these buildings are really nice, colonial era. There's a lot of French inspired architecture here as well in Centro. You'll mostly find it in Roma Norte, I think, because that's when Diaz, which was a, I don't know if he was a dictator, but he's like a president of Mexico that lasted quite a while, came in, switched things up a bit. But I guess we can go this way over here. These sidewalks, painted sidewalks, are brand new. They were definitely not here last time I came. This was all just for traffic. But I think they're making the downtown area a lot more walker friendly. So there's like a whole bunch of seats, as you can see. A lot of greenery to take pictures and selfies and whatnot. but it's still pretty quiet. Again, there's already a lot of people, but it does get pretty busy throughout the day, or as the day progresses on. Gonna try and cross the street here without getting ran over. But that's the big gigantic Mexican flag. And over here on this side is the Palacio Nacional, which is the Mexican White House, as I previously mentioned. That's where the president is at right now, working, I'm assuming. And during the Mexican independence celebration, this, well, pre-COVID, this whole space would be packed full of people, and the president comes out of that window, I think, and he yells at them. Talks about, you know, the patriotic duties of the Mexican people, their accomplishments and whatnot. And he rings that bell up there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a bell up there. And he'll ring it, and everybody will just go crazy. But yeah, it's really chill here. A lot of people just come. They'll literally lay down on the floor and just look up at the stars at night. But if we walk down this way, we'll find Mexico City's main cathedral, which again was the one that was erected on top of the Aztec pyramids, I believe, using the same resources that were built to, I'm sorry, the same resources that were used to build the pyramid. And it's unfortunately closed right now. I did manage to get in back in 2019 before, well, before you know what. And it's really nice, and they're very impressive. A lot of gold-plated altars. Just really beautiful art in there. So if you're planning on coming to Mexico to see the cathedral and go inside, it may not be possible, as Mexico is still in its, well, it has 3 different stages. It has red light, yellow light, green light, like a stoplight, to coincide with the restrictions of COVID. And it's currently in yellow, which means some things are open, some things are not. There are capacity limits and all that stuff. But yeah, one thing to note is that Centro is very, very clean as well. Compared to Roma Norte and Condesa, I think it's definitely a lot cleaner. And the sidewalks are a lot nicer as well. Roma Norte and Condesa have way more greenery, way more trees, which is definitely a plus for me. But the streets are just not the business. And of course, it's been a year since I actually stayed in Roma Norte, so I mean, it's possible that things might have changed, but I doubt it. But it's not a super deal breaker. And down this way we have Madero Street, which is the, or it's, yeah, it's the most highly trafficked walking street in Mexico City. Just because you'll find a lot of different restaurants and venues, performers. If you guys have ever been to Vegas, this is kind of like Fremont Street, except it's missing, you know, the Fremont Experience TV thing on top. It's not even a TV, it's like just a whole bunch of lights. I forgot what it's called. But again, very beautiful buildings around. And this is where a lot of the high-end restaurants are located as well. the ones with really pretty rooftop terraces, which you usually need a reservation for. But you'll find a lot of other options as well. And this street does lead you down to the Palacio de Bellas Artes, which again, due to the COVID restrictions, is currently closed. But it's basically the Mexico City flagship museum. Actually, I don't even know if that's true anymore, because Sumaya in Polanco is really, really nice too. So it definitely has competition. But yeah, this is only my 4th day back in Mexico City, and I'm enjoying it so much. Gone to a couple of different restaurants. Supposed to be meeting some people this weekend for some drinks. Don't know if I'll record that though. But I did want to make a video going over some information that people might be interested in. This is kind of just like a walking video where I just show you guys the different streets, what people are doing, and whatnot. But I definitely wanted to make a more cohesive video where all the relevant information is available to you guys, such as safety information, pricing, restaurants, recommendations, the works. There are a lot of really hot police officers too, I've noticed. This is an off topic. Hola. ¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien?
Buenos días.
Buenos días, usted también.
¿Cómo estás?
No, pues aquí pendejeando, ¿verdad? Turisteando también. Sí, que tenga bonito día. And those are the type of experiences or encounters that I enjoy, which are so common here in Mexico. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm not even over exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard that. Super easy to make friends here in Mexico, and my god, it really is. It just kind of goes to show how closed off and I guess cold people are in the States, just due to the influence of, you know, individualism and self-interest, I guess. But I don't know, a lot of people here just seem to be really interested in you and genuinely like talking to you, so at least that's the impression that I'm getting. And especially here in Mexico City, a lot of people say that it's not as friendly as other parts of Mexico, and I don't know what parts they've been to that I just haven't, because I've honestly found, I mean, compared to the States, there is no comparison. People in Mexico City are just way friendlier. I've heard people describe it as like a friendlier New York City, and I definitely get the comparison, because it still has like that hustle and bustle of New York City, but people aren't as mad, you know? People are just like super chill, doing their own thing. And yeah, I definitely prefer that over, you know, just like angry people. Yeah, these are all the different restaurants. There's the Hotel Ritz. So again, if you want to stay at a very centrally located hotel, you have that option there. As you can see, it's just a little short walk to the main cathedral square, to the Zócalo area. And there's subway lines all over, so you can pretty much travel to any part of the city very, very quickly, because I'm sure a lot of you know, but Mexico City is huge. So even though you may hear that places like Coyoacán, or I think it's called San Angel, are really, really nice, they are also really, really far away from a lot of things. And if you're taking Ubers, you're definitely traveling for at least 30 minutes, possibly more if you're doing it during rush hour. But since Mexico City is where a lot of, Centro is where a lot of things are just located in terms of businesses, things people usually access, it's definitely beneficial to stay here because you're not spending as much time traveling and you get to enjoy the city a little bit more. And of course, there's always dogs in Mexico. But yeah, it's super cool. I don't know how many times I've walked this street already, but I bet it's more than 10. And there's the Torre de Latinoamérica, which is a very nice terrace, highly recommended. I think you do have to pay to get in, forgot. But it has one of the best views, and you'll see why in a minute. It used to be a little bit nicer, but due to COVID, things have changed a little bit. And the cool thing about Mexico is that a lot of people are still wearing masks. I know in the US that's been a heavily politicized issue and some people just refuse to do that, but here it seems to be very commonplace, I think. I mean, you still see like a person here and there without a mask, and it's usually a foreigner. But yeah, generally everybody's wearing masks. Generally everywhere checks your temperature before you go in. They spray you sometimes. They definitely give you gel, some antibacterial gel, which I'm not even sure if it works for viruses, but it's preferable than nothing, I guess. And here we come into one of the main streets, and of course there is Palacio de Bellas Artes, which is still closed. And this street was actually closed a few days ago. I think there was some type of protest, and those tents over there that you guys can see were scattered all over the streets. But it looks like they've been moved onto the sidewalks now, so the traffic is flowing again. Oh, there's a green light. What? Yes. Here's the Telmex Tower, which is also a Sears Tower. And there are actually a lot of memes, like within Mexican culture, about that street that we just walked, Madero, which is just the it mostly centers around the amount of vendors there that are trying to either sell you some tattoo service, piercing services. They're trying to offer you some restaurants, terrace seating and whatnot, which basically makes a lot of people avoid the area. But obviously if you come really early in the morning, there isn't much of that to deal with. And even later in the afternoon, like past 12, it's just so crowded that you just get lost in the sea of people. So it's rare that you'll get harassed by somebody trying to sell you something, but it'll probably happen. But yes, this is the Palacio de Bellas Artes here, which I've actually yet to go in. Last time I was here, there was a protest, which was I think it was like a lot of like LGBT advocates who were protesting. Oh god, I forgot the drama. Basically somebody drew a historical figure, like a Mexican historical figure, who was widely considered to be like bisexual or gay, and they drew him depicting that sexuality. And I guess the family members got really upset. They made the museum take it down, I think, and there was like a counter protest for that. But yes, it was closed when I came because that was going on. And now that I'm back, it's COVID and it's still closed. So I don't know if it's just not meant to be or something, but there it is. Well guys, I think I'll sign off here. Don't want to make it extra long like I did with the 2 other Vegas videos, so I'll definitely find some other cool areas to show you guys to record in, and I'll definitely be working on that video. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later.